How did you come up with the folks involved in the film, the production schedule, locations, and things like that?
Oh, I wasn't really involved in any of that, but the only big say that I had was with the casting, Miss Kayleen and Miss Kate. Is she here? Okay. Yeah, they handled all that. I didn't really know all the inside stuff. I'm sorry. I didn't really know about all of that, but they handled everything, and they asked my opinion on some things also, so that was good.
You can probably say that we have a local crew and cast. Lillian Piles, our casting director, is here, very instrumental in bringing us our casting. Earlaina sat in on the casting sessions as well and was instrumental in choosing them. Rawson's been working with Rob York, our managing producer from Scenarios, visiting from New York. And we have a local production team who have also generously donated to their time and talents to the production as well. So it's very much a community effort.
This question is for Mr. Thurber. I wondered, what's the process been like taking Earlaina's story, given how she's used to writing, and turning that into a script that would be made into a movie?
That's a great question. Yeah, Earlaina's her submission wasn't written in screenplay format, and many weren't. But one of the, I don't know, you all probably, or many of you at least, haven't read it. One of the most impressive parts about Earlaina's writing, which was in more of a prose format, was not only the voice, but the fact that it's written completely from a young man's perspective, an 18-year-old boy. And when we read everything, the names there were no names on any of the scripts, so we didn't know. So when I found out that Earlaina wasn't a fella, it was surprising, to say the least, because it's, as I said earlier, it's so authentic, the voice, and it's a rare talent for a writer to be able to write the opposite gender. Not very many can do it convincingly. I know I can't. I'm still learning about that. But in terms of taking the prose story that she wrote to the screenplay format, that was, I don't know. I actually thought it was going to be the biggest challenge. I thought, well, this is going to be tough, and it wasn't. Earlaina just sort of, stepped up and spit on her palms and rubbed them together and hit it out of the park. That was pretty much it. I think we talked about the screenplay format for an hour or two. I showed her some scripts and kind of walked her a little bit through the kind of confusing program called Final Draft that most people write in, and then a few weeks later she sent me a script, and I was blown away, frankly. So it had almost nothing to do with me and pretty much everything to do with her. That's what I would say. Thanks for the question.
Good morning, Earlaina and Rawson. Sorry. Congratulations on your accomplishment. And my question has to do with, can you give us a brief synopsis of your play?
Well, the original story and the screenplay is kind of different, but it still has the same theme. The screenplay is basically a young man, his name is Tommy, and he has things that has happened in his past. He has to raise his 3 sisters. It's not the fact that the mother's not there. It's just that it's other obligations that she feels that she has to do, and she's not there for them all the time. And so he's trying to better his future. Like, he's on the right track. He's on his way to college, but people in his past are trying to get him back into that old lifestyle. And so that's the conflict. Like, do I do this and so I can be done, or do I do this but still have this over my head? It's just kind of the conflicting good versus evil type of thing.
Earlaina, I have a question. How has this changed your relationship with your peers at school after they found out that you had won this contest? Has been any difference in the way your life has been lived every day?
The only difference is, like, more people, like I said, they actually know me now. It's not just that girl that just, the girl with the hat or whatever that walks around. It's like they know me, but I could say, like, the people that I hang with, my inner circle, it's not really no big deal. It's like they know that I'm doing it. They're happy for me. But I'm glad of that. Like, they don't treat me any different. They still punch me and everything. So it's cool.
Good morning. I have a question. I work with Cleveland Schools, and I actually have read your script, both of them. And I noticed the differences. I do like both of them. My question is actually for Rawson. Reading Earlaina's script, and it is very authentic, and it's very culturally specific, and in Cleveland that's something that we're protective of. What do you bring to the process? What do you plan on doing in the process to ensure that that voice stays true to Earlaina's vision and stays true to Cleveland and the culture that the story is really about?
Well, I think I'm glad you read both, by the way. God bless you. Well, I think it's simply that as I said to Earlaina when we first met at her school, that my goal here is not to change what she's saying or make it about what I think it should be about. I'm really here to help her get her vision on the screen, and that certainly includes her voice, the authenticity of it. So really my job or my function is as translator, really, from what she writes on the page to putting it on film. It's not much more than that. I mean, we discussed, in terms of the story, Earlaina and I talked a lot about what makes a good story and how to tell it, which are often two different things, and that essentially that conflict is the essence of drama, and that you get conflict by having your character or characters make choices that have real consequence, where when they make the choice, they're giving up one thing in order to get another, and that choice without consequences is inert. So we talked a lot about that, about making sure that Tommy, the lead in the story, was making those choices throughout, and ultimately a big one at the end, and that there are real repercussions for that, and I think we talked about some of her favorite films, and I think I got the scripts of those films so she could see how it looks on the page, because most people don't know what a screenplay looks like, and or don't know that there is a screenplay, when you make a film. I mean, truly. So really, my function is to, is just as ballast, as support, to do what I can to make sure that what Earlaina wants to say is what's being said, not, what I want to say. No one will be getting hit in the groin with anything in the short film. Yet. Yes. Right? Okay.